Are your plants struggling despite your best efforts? Maybe they're just not thriving as expected, or pests seem to be a constant battle in your garden space? You've tried different fertilizers, adjusted watering schedules, and maybe even changed your planting locations, yet, something still feels off. The missing link might not be fancy fertilizers or the latest gardening gadgets, but rather a fundamental misunderstanding of the incredible life teeming beneath your soil. What if I told you that the true power of your garden isn't above ground, but deep beneath your feet in an intricate web of organisms that are truly supporting your garden's success? This underground universe, known as the soil food web, represents one of nature's most sophisticated ecosystems, and understanding it will transform how you approach gardening forever. By the end of this guide, you'll have the insights needed to cultivate a naturally healthy and productive space that works with nature rather than against it. Imagine holding a single teaspoon of healthy garden soil in your palm. What you're actually holding contains more living organisms than there are people on Earth. This isn't an exaggeration, it's the remarkable reality of soil biology. Within that small sample lives an entire civilization of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, arthropods, and, just countless other creatures all working together in an intricate dance that has been perfected over millions of years. The soil food web represents the complex network of feeding relationships among all these soil-dwelling organisms. Unlike a simple food chain where A eats B and B eats C, the soil food web resembles more of an interconnected subway system where nutrients, energy, and information flow in multiple directions simultaneously. Every organism plays a crucial role, and the health of your plants depends entirely on how well this underground community functions. Understanding this hidden ecosystem is like discovering the engine room of a magnificent ship. Once you see how all the parts work together, you gain the power to optimize the entire system. Your garden isn't just plants growing in dirt. It's a complex partnership between your plants and an entire underground civilization working tirelessly to support them. Let's get acquainted with the remarkable cast of characters living beneath your garden beds. Each group of organisms serves essential functions that directly impact your plant's health, and understanding their roles will help you become a better gardener. Bacteria represent the most numerous inhabitants of your soil, with billions residing in every gram of healthy earth. Think of them as your garden's cleanup crew and nutrient delivery service rolled into one. These microscopic powerhouses break down organic matter, releasing nutrients that plants can readily absorb. Some bacteria specialize in decomposing dead plant material, while others form beneficial partnerships directly with plant roots. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria, for instance, can capture atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into forms that plants can use, essentially providing free fertilizer directly where it's needed most. So, if bacteria are the workhorses, fungi serve as your garden's underground internet. Fungal networks, particularly mycorrhizal fungi, form these vast webs of thread-like structures called hyphae. These structures extend far beyond plant root systems, creating an intricate network underground. Now, these fungal partners can increase a plant's root surface area by, up to 1,000 times. This dramatically improves nutrient and water uptake for the plants. In exchange for sugars and carbohydrates from the plants, fungi deliver essential nutrients like phosphorus, nitrogen, and trace minerals. These are nutrients that would otherwise remain locked in the soil, What's truly remarkable is that these fungal networks can connect multiple plants, allowing them to share resources and even communicate about threats. When one plant is attacked by pests, it can send chemical warning signals through the fungal network. This helps neighboring plants prepare their defenses. Isn't that fascinating? Protozoa might be single-celled organisms, but they really punch above their weight when it comes to garden impact. These microscopic predators feed on bacteria and fungi, and here's where the magic happens. When they digest their prey, they release nutrients in forms that plants can immediately use. Think of protozoa as your soil's recycling center, constantly processing nutrients and making them available to your plants in perfect timing. Not all nematodes are garden villains. While some species can damage plant roots, beneficial nematodes serve as important predators that keep harmful organisms in check. Predatory nematodes hunt bacteria, fungi, and other nematodes, helping maintain balance in the soil ecosystem. Nematodes also contribute to nutrient cycling by processing organic matter and, releasing nutrients as they feed. Larger soil inhabitants like springtails, mites, beetles, and earthworms serve as the ecosystem's engineers. And honestly, earthworms in particular are soil-building superstars. As they move through the earth, they create channels that improve air and water movement while mixing organic matter throughout the soil profile. Their castings are essentially concentrated packages of plant-available nutrients, often containing about 5 times more nitrogen, 7 times more phosphorus, and 11 times more potassium than the surrounding soil. Now that you know the players, let's explore how they work together to create gardening magic. The soil food web operates on the principle of energy transfer, with each feeding relationship moving nutrients and energy through the system in ways that benefit your plants. Everything starts with your plants through photosynthesis. Plants capture solar energy and convert it into sugars and carbohydrates. Here's something many gardeners don't realize. Plants actually release about 30 to 40% of these precious carbohydrates directly into the soil through their roots. This isn't waste, it's a deliberate investment. Plants are essentially feeding the soil organisms in exchange for services. These root exudates serve as food for bacteria and fungi living near plant roots. As these microorganisms feed and multiply, they become food for protozoa and nematodes. When protozoa consume bacteria, they release excess nutrients in forms plants can immediately absorb, particularly nitrogen, which is often the limiting factor in plant growth. So, this creates a beautiful cycle where plants feed soil organisms and soil organisms feed plants in return. The most successful relationships in the soil food web are, partnerships, not predation. Mycorrhizal fungi form the most important of these relationships, creating what scientists call a wood-wide web that connects plants across your entire garden. Through these fungal networks, plants can trade nutrients, share information about environmental stresses, and even support struggling neighbors by sharing resources. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria create another crucial partnership, particularly with legume plants like beans and peas. These bacteria live in specialized root nodules where they convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia that plants can use. In exchange, plants provide carbohydrates and a protected environment for the bacteria. This natural process can provide all the nitrogen a plant needs, eliminating the need for synthetic fertilizers. A healthy soil food web acts as your garden's immune system. When beneficial organisms occupy all available niches in the soil, harmful pathogens struggle to establish themselves. This principle, called competitive exclusion, means that a diverse, thriving soil community naturally suppresses many plant diseases.